Pearl White and the Marketing Animals are going to be bestowing upon you lots of information and knowledge to make you a better originator in Las Vegas. Don't miss it. You want to check it out, click this banner you see right here over on the right. You might have to scroll down a teensy bit. Or if you're watching on your mobile device, just scroll way down past the comments. You'll see his banner there. Or there's a link around here somewhere if you're watching us on Facebook or whatever. What?
Oh, by the way, I thought this was funny. I had this conversation this weekend.
Yeah.
I was speaking with somebody who has a pre-app 1003 account.
Yeah.
And this is crazy. It's funny, and there's a great tie-in here. But they use their pre-app 1003 account for mortgages to create a hookup.
What? What? Text for a good time. Text.
Hold on, just stop.
Don't even go there.
All right, so if you market good enough, here's what you have to understand. It might just also get you laid.
What the benefits of pre-app 1003?
So if professional success and being the envy of every one of your peers in the mortgage industry is not enough for you to get off your butt and start doing more with 21st century marketing, let's throw in, you might get laid. Put that into the bag of goodies.
Hilarious.
For being a great marketer, right?
Okay, I can't wait to hear about that.
I'm not joking either.
Nice.
So it goes like this.
Okay.
Now, first of all, keep in mind the people who did this, the guy who did this, he's kind of a young fella.
Okay.
So if you're like me and Frank,
Right.
you're probably not going to understand half of this.
Okay.
Here we go, Frank. Line it up.
Okay, here it goes. Girl saw boy.
Okay.
Then she, I guess this is a thing, swiped right.
This was on Tinder. She saw him on Tinder.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, then they started chatting.
Right.
Okay, now she asked what he does for a living.
Right.
Okay, he said, let me show you.
Okay.
Okay, so he said, just text this
Whatever, a text
to
code.
that.
Right, a text
And she did.
Right.
And then he captured her phone number.
Creepy. Okay.
To call her up.
Right.
And ask for a date.
Because other than that, he wouldn't have had her phone number,
Right.
but he used that and to capture her number. Right, okay.
So he got it.
Right.
He got the number, right? So now, why it worked is because when she bit on his marketing, you know,
the marketing. We're talking about biting on marketing.
the
That's all.
text this to that, which
Yeah.
captured her number.
Yeah.
Right?
Now remember the auto response. Then when she texted this to that, the auto response sent her a video of him, right? A recording that he had previously done on his pre-app account.
Awesome.
Okay, so now when she texted whatever it was to whatever, she's now looking at him, on a video that he had recorded. So she was getting to know, like, and trust him.
Okay.
Have you heard those words before?
Yeah.
So by the time he called from his lead capture pre-app 1003 account, the sales for the date was already in the bag, or shall I say, in the sack.
I mean, are you struck by the fact that dating is just like sales?
Right, kind of.
Yeah, you build an audience.
Right.
Compel them to action.
Right.
I mean, what tools will help you in that endeavor?
Right.
What was I talking about? Dating or selling homes?
It's pretty much the same thing. You got a product and you're trying to sell it, right?
Pre-app 1003, improving your social and possibly love life while making you a more successful loan officer. It's the best product on the market, man, for what it does for loan officers. But seriously, how many marketing pieces are that good?
It's nuts, isn't it? And it really is the same idea. And yes, that actually happened. And I don't want to get lost in this conversation. Pre-app 1003 is one hell of a powerful tool for loan officers and mortgage companies. So check it out.
Yeah.
And it can get you laid.
Yeah.
All right.
It's on the site somewhere here, too, by the way.
Okay. Now check this out. Roughly 1 in 3 millennials, here we go again, the damn millennials, under the age of 35 own a home as of the end of 2018. All right. I thought these were pretty good numbers, and this is according to the Census Bureau. Now that's 8 to 9 percentage points lower than the previous generation's home ownership rate from the ages of 25 to 34. So when they were at the same age.
Okay.
Now this is according to research that's done from the Urban Institute's Housing Finance Policy Center.
Okay, now,
We know this about millennials. Go ahead, Frank.
they're deadbeats.
Right.
Thwarting their responsibilities.
Totally agree.
How we know that?
We do.
They don't want to get married.
No.
They don't know what they're missing out on.
No, they don't, do they? They don't know what you're missing out on if you're not getting... No, yeah, many of the younger people lucky enough to own a place still suffer from some type of buyer's remorse.
Interesting.
Nearly 2/3, or 63% of millennials, okay, who are buying these houses right now, between the ages of 23 and 38, say that they've got regrets about purchasing the house that they bought.
Lucky enough to buy a house?
Yes, that's what the article from the Urban Institute said. If they were lucky enough to buy a house, 2/3 regretted it.
Okay, well, if 2/3 regret buying a house, I don't think that makes them lucky.
I think the Urban Institute needs to think about their phraseology.
I mean, you get married, you have a kid, buy a house.
Yes, one,
That's
two, three.
not one, not two, but three 30-plus year ankle weights that just got attached to that poor kid's leg.
Yeah.
Hell, I think 2/3 is low. I think the study might be flawed, Brian.
2/3 of the people who bought a house regret buying the house. I don't think it's a house. You're right, Frank. It probably has something to do with the things that led up to buying the house, like getting married, having a kid, because they probably also got a dead-end job to support your new responsibilities of a kid, a spouse, and a house, and probably a dog. Oh, and let's throw in a boss who hates them to the pile, right? Hell, by the time they come home to their screaming kids, their unsatisfied spouse, from their angry boss at their endless job, they're probably looking at that little weather flashing coming loose from the gable above their front door, and they're just going freaking nuts. So I hate this. Why did I ever buy a house? What did I do to myself? Wake me up from this nightmare. Why did I? Hell, I'm surprised it's not 100%.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, so now, do we really believe this? What we just said? There is a sliver of truth in everything that's kind of funny. Because, of course, not everyone's going to like the house or the spouse or the kid or the dog or the job. We understand that. We're making light of it. Because you want to know why? We heard from CNBC that 2/3 of the people who bought a house that are millennials don't like their house.
Yeah.
Are they right or wrong? I have a more important question. Who cares? Right? Now, we talk about this quite a bit. We keep talking about having a micro solution to a macro problem. Here's a pretty good idea. If you are trying to create a business that is going to fight against the automation platforms that exist right now with the big names, with the huge treasure troves of money to fight against you, you know the companies, we do too. Your best bet is to go micro, not macro. Don't fight it on their terms. So perhaps if you're selling a house to a millennial, you might want to talk about that deferred maintenance.
Yeah.
Make that a bigger part of the conversation, because that's what a professional would do.
Right, exactly. And that's apparently what they were complaining about in this CNBC article. And I just want to point out, too, that CNBC, they're always negative on housing in every way, shape, or form. So they can take anything and spin it off and make it negative about housing. They always seem to do that.
And if it's right or wrong, it doesn't change what the activity of any loan officer or real estate agent watching the show is. It should only work as a friendly reminder that you need to become more professional and personal, because it helps your business in so many different ways.
And we just looked at another article, too, maybe we could share that later, where it said data supports that millennials are now buying homes. They're actually out buying the homes and moving out of their parents' house. But then you got this other one that says, well, but 62% of them, or whatever it is, have regrets, right? So it's just exactly what you're saying. They're out there. They're buying. Just make sure you give them a little bit more information before they buy the home, right? Let them know what to expect once they've got that home under their belt.
Right. Millennials are buying houses, but as the Census Bureau said, they're still buying it at a clip 9% lower than previous generations. So, again, be professional. Just go out there and have personal conversations. That's what kills who's fighting against your chosen profession.
Have a good one. And if you're, in need of some dating skills, I guess get Pre-F 1003. I guess apparently that's gonna help you do that too. I'll see you guys later.
Bye.